Hi guys, it's Kelly and I am back with another random story requested by one of my friends. Almost 7 years ago, I moved back to Northern Virginia and I lived for a short time with my friend Heather in Centerville, Virginia. And so maybe like my first week here, I went over to the Centerville library and Heather's neighbor that was a teenager was in the car with me because he had wanted to ride somewhere too. And I said, sure, as long as I stop by the library. So we go over to the library and I pull into where you're going to the parking lot, and there were probably about 100, okay, maybe 70, but definitely more than 50 Hispanic men standing outside. And I thought, oh my gosh, did something happen? Is there an emergency? Do I need to help these people? What's going on here? Oh my gosh, this is really scary. What is going on? There's so many men here and they're all dressed in work clothes. And I am just so confused. What happened? So I slowed down my car and they started walking over to my car. And this teenager that was in my car said, no, go, just go. And I'm like, but are they okay? What do they need? I mean, they're just standing here and they look like they want something. And he's like, yeah, they want a job. And I'm like, what? And he's like, they're day workers. And I'm like, what is a day worker? And then he's like, people that stand outside and look for jobs. And I had never heard of such a thing. And I'm like, can you explain this to me? And he said that basically you will go over there and you'll just roll down your window and say whatever you need, like drywall, or paint, or whatever, gardening, and whoever, if they can do that, they'll just walk over to your car and be like, drywall. And then you get them in your car, and he said that some of them even pack their own lunches. So anyway, you just pick them up, take them back to your house, and pay them whatever, and then drop them back off at the library. And I was like, what in the world? I have never heard of such a thing. And so I've lived here almost 7 years, and I still have not hired a day worker. I do not know if I ever will, but recently I took some little girls out to Pizza Hut, and we passed by the Herndon 7-Eleven, another very popular place for day workers, and I said to the little girls, see those guys standing there? They're looking for a job. And one of the little girls said, that is not how you look for a job. And I said, it is if you are not legal in this country. And so then I told them my story, and they just laughed and laughed. And I said to them, should I have picked one up? Should I have given one a job? And they're like, no, that's scary. And it is kind of scary to hire someone you don't know to come into your house. But hey, people do it. And so I'm like, okay. So I told my friend that story, and she laughed and laughed about how I stopped and everything. And she said, you have got to tell this story. And I thought, okay, I will. So I did. So I may be like those guys. I might not know how to make a viral video, but here is my story of the week, and you know how silly I am, so please subscribe and look forward to more things from me. Thanks, bye. Guess what? I'm back. I lied. So my friend asked me to tell another story, and it is so short, I might as well include it with that, even though it has nothing to do with that story, except it's about me. So recently I was at Rock Creek Park with my friend Johnny, and we went and saw these things called the Capitol Stones. And when we were walking back to the visitor center, nature center, whatever you want to call it, I saw this man that looked like an extra out of the Forrest Gump movie. You know, the part where he meets up with the Black Panther Party? Anyway, he had on a beret, brown fringe jacket, boots, tight jeans. I told the lady at the nature center, asked if she'd ever seen him. She said, whoa, he is a real throwback. I said, I know, right? He had a bag with him and he was collecting stuff. And I said, I saw him and I made a beeline for him. And Johnny was like, what? And I said, hey, what are you collecting? And he's like, acorns. There's so many of them this time of year. I said, oh, really? Well, tell me what you're going to do with them all. And he said, there's so many places that need planting trees, and I'm just going to go and plant trees. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, what else do you find around here? And he said, all sorts of interesting stuff. All sorts. And I said, oh, like what? And he said, oh, just interesting stuff. He didn't tell me. And Johnny was like, that guy is as high as a kite. And I think he was wondering, why did you stop and talk to him? But when I see people like that, I always stop and talk to him. So I have stories to tell like this. So I did. So again, second time, please subscribe because I will be back next week talking about a really cool job I had, or maybe I won't, but you'll just have to subscribe and watch my videos and check them out. Thanks. Bye. For reals this time.